Hey Team Duff, it's Whitt coming to you with a mini episode of Duff Enough to share my first reaction to How I Met Your Father, Hilary's new comedy series now streaming on Hulu. There's been a lot of buzz about this show, and I'm excited to share my initial thoughts. So let's get started. Well, first of all, hello. I know it's been a minute since I finished releasing the podcast episodes about Hilary's previous career work, but I am back for How I Met Your Father. I'll do a full chat episode at the end of the season, but I wanted to go ahead and do a quick review after seeing the first two episodes. I am recording this during the show's premiere week, and what an exciting time with all the promo and interviews. Hilary looks stunning in all her different outfits, and I love that she's talking to outlets about new music and about what happened with the Lizzie reboot. It's always so fun when Hilary is promoting a new project, and I can tell she's super proud of this show. So yeah, loving all the promo. Disappointed in a lot of the reviews. They're mixed. I wasn't expecting great reviews for this show. Obviously, it's a traditional multicam sitcom, a bit of an outdated format these days. I don't think it's making a comeback, but they decided to, match How I Met Your Mother. I'm not getting caught up in what the critics say, though, because I know what this show is. It's light, it's a rom-com, it's a comfort show. That's what I go in expecting. I will say it's tough as a Hilary fan to come off a show like Younger, which critics loved, and then have this not get as good of reviews. But again, I'm not dwelling over what the critics say. You shouldn't either, except for how much they're praising Hilary. That we can acknowledge. Yes. As for my review, I'll go ahead and get to that right now. Remember, this is a first reaction based on the first two episodes that were released. No major spoilers. It's not that kind of show. I know international fans are having to wait, but I'll start with the premise. How I Met Your Father is a sequel series that flips the script on its original predecessor. It stars our girl Hilary Duff as Sophie, who in the future, as Kim Cattrall, is telling her son the story of how she met his father in the year 2022. It's the age of dating apps, and the setting is New York City, where we find Sophie and her friends navigating their way through adulthood. In true sitcom fashion, we can expect a lot of mishaps, including dating fails, that serve as clues to who will or won't be the father of Sophie's child. All right, like I said before, I went into this knowing what kind of show it would be. High hopes, but realistic expectations, and honestly, it's young, it's fun, it's feel good, and I really enjoyed it. I do have some thoughts, though, positive and fair thoughts. I think it's fair to say that without Hilary, I'm not sure this show would have been on my watch list, because with Younger, I came to that show for Hilary, but really stayed because I fell in love with the story, the characters, the whole series. I think if you asked me what my favorite kind of TV show is, I would use Younger as like the prime example. So on the surface, How I Met Your Father mainly appeals to me because of Hilary. I did not watch How I Met Your Mother. I've only seen a few episodes. It always felt very like bros and beer to me, and that's not me. For How I Met Your Father, I wish they would have gone the young Sheldon route and switched things up by doing single cam. I'm not a fan of the laugh track, but I get it. It's part of the deal, and it doesn't bother me too much. I do think that I am literally the demo for How I Met Your Father. It's a sitcom for millennials. I'm around the same age as the characters. I'm going through the same life experiences. And of course, Hilary is the star, which makes perfect sense. She's a millennial icon, and her character Sophie is the kind of role that Hilary's known for and that people love to see her in. Now, as a hardcore Hilary fan, I want to see Hilary grow and do other characters at some point. But it's also amazing that Hilary plays Sophie in a way that doesn't feel like Kelsey. If anything, Sophie reminds me more of Lizzie. Sophie, though, I love her. She's so optimistic and relatable, and she's open to love and a believer in love. I'm rooting for her right away. Hilary nails this character. I also love all of Sophie's friends who we meet, even the guys. Like, none of them seem like total bros, as I was mentioning about the original. And this show doesn't skew male or female. It's very much in the middle, I think. I'm excited to see more of the Ellen character, who's giving us our LGBTQ plus representation. Also love that we have a diverse group of actors here. And I can already tell that the cast has chemistry. Hilary and Francia have a great moment in the second episode where their characters are just validating each other, and it ends with a love you, and the way they say it back and forth is just so perfect. We also got a little bit of physical comedy from Hilary, and I hope we get a lot more. She's so good at it, and this format really lends itself to that. Gotta have a pratfall at some point, but just the way that she runs across the street at the very beginning of the pilot and the way that she strategically dances at the club in episode 2. Oh, and here's a tiny spoiler that was a nice surprise. We got a little singing moment from Hilary in episode 2. Totally unexpected, but shout out to the writers for giving us what we want. So yeah, those are some specifics. Overall, though, I enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I laughed more during episode 2, but I thought the pilot was solid. I'm looking forward to learning more about the characters and their jobs. I am excited to see Josh Peck show up. There's also a surprise appearance from another famous actor in the pilot, who I'm guessing will be back later. So lots to look forward to, including solving the mystery. Who's the dad? I love how they set that up, actually. I love that we see Kim Cattrall, perfect casting, by the way, older Sophie, telling the story instead of the kid listening in this one. So we don't see the kid, like in How I Met Your Mother, and it leaves a question mark about whether the son could be biracial. And not to end on a sad note, but I appreciated that they dedicated the first episode to Bob Saget in the credits. He was the voice of older Ted in the original. A nice tribute. Okay, final thoughts for now. I know this is a show that I'm going to be able to turn on anytime. Again, it's a comfort show. I might turn this on when I'm depressed. When I'm not depressed, I may turn this on when I can't decide on anything to watch. I know you know what I mean, but let's be honest. No matter what, I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to love it. It's Hilary in a leading role on TV. I want to read this great tweet I saw. This is from Jamie Lynn Vest @_callmejamie. It says, Hilary Duff has been the most unproblematic queen of our millennials' lifetime. I don't care if I hear that How I Met Your Father sucks, and I don't care if I hear it's the greatest show ever. We will support it, we will stream it, and we will love it. I said what I said. Retweet. Yes, love it. All right. Well, that is my first reaction to How I Met Your Father. I'll plan on being back at the end of season 1 with a full episode to discuss in depth. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy the series too. It's going to be, wait for it, legendary. Bye, Team Duff.